Hi everyone, welcome to my channel where I share my journey into carnivorous eating, low carb, fitness, and ancestral health. I've been eating low carb for maybe the past, 8 months, and somewhat hypercarnivorous or hypercarnivorous for the past 2 months. I'm not exactly sure. I had to go down my YouTube history actually and check when I started watching videos about this. And I think that's important. I don't think it's a good idea to really count how many months or years I've been on a diet. I'll talk about that in another video. So during the height of the lockdowns in the Philippines, early 2020 to early 2021, I just let myself go. I gained a hefty amount of weight and I was going through a rough time mentally. So that didn't help. My diet of processed foods, refined carbs did not help at all. It made things worse. Then sometime in mid 2021 or so, I had a gout attack. And the doctor told me that I needed to go on maintenance medication. And that was a slap in the face that woke me up. No way I was going to do that. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't blame the doctor. He's very professional and he was doing his job. But I just decided for myself to take control of my health and take control of my diet and my lifestyle. I did not want to go down the path of medication. So that's when I started intermittent fasting. I was watching a podcast, an episode of the Lex Friedman podcast, and in that episode, George St. Pierre was talking about how he learned how to do intermittent fasting from Dr. Jason Fung. And of course, that influenced me a lot. George St. Pierre, former UFC champion, was one of my big idols, so to speak, in martial arts. So I dove deep into studying intermittent fasting and keto. I avoided as much as possible all the processed foods and refined foods. And that's where I learned that if you want to stay fit and healthy for the rest of your life, perhaps the number one skill you need to learn is to cook your own food. Taking control of what you eat is 100 times more valuable than any workout. Honestly, for most people, I would recommend to not even go to the gym, at least at first. Take control of your food, fix your diet, and then when you have a routine down, that's when you hit the gym. So eventually, I stumbled into the carnivore space. I was influenced a lot by Dr. Anthony Chaffee, one of the strictest carnivores out there. And then, of course, Dr. Sean Baker, who appeared on the Joe Rogan podcast, I think 2017. And he launched this carnivore diet revolution, or at least he made a lot more people aware of it. And then Dr. Ken Berry, and through them, a whole lot of other carnivore specialists and low carb veterans and such. So I began eating more and more carnivore to the point that I would eat plants only in social situations. So family gatherings, eating out with loved ones and friends. That's the only time I would eat plants. Left to myself, as long as I had control over my food, I would avoid all plants and eat only animal meat and fat. As of now, though, I am reintroducing carbs into my diet, but with very strict controls on the amount. So I still eat animal meat and fat as much as I want to, as much as my taste buds would want. But for the carbs, I control those. I control the amount up to the gram. So I'm very strict on that. I'm very aware. I believe in carb addiction. So I'm doing what I can. I'm making the effort to keep that at bay. So just to share two effects that I really like from eating like this. One, I burned a whole lot of body fat, and not because I was working out harder. Okay, it's not that. It's because my body is now more used to burning fat instead of sugar or glucose. So when I work out, for example, I don't get tired. I mean, I get tired after I do a high intensity exercise, like lifting a weight or doing pull-ups or whatever. I get tired, but I just rest for a few seconds, sometimes a minute, and I can go back in again. And it's gotten to the point where I stop working out, not because I'm tired, but because it's been 2 hours already and I can't spend all day in the gym. So because of time constraints. Number two, I feel like I have some kind of superhuman or superpowered healing factor. It feels like Wolverine in Marvel Comics, that mutant who has a superpower of instantly healing himself. I'm exaggerating, of course. I mean, I would like that power, but eating like this, eating carnivore, doesn't make you superhuman. But I definitely feel a big difference. I don't feel as sore. after a workout, I wake up the next day and I'm not as sore as I remember back years ago. Okay, and I recover very fast from the workouts. In fact, when or I have to impose rest days on myself. Okay, so I impose a rest day on myself, and even during that rest day, I feel agitated. I want to go to the gym. I just have to force myself not to. I know that I need to rest, but my body's screaming, let's go to the gym. Okay, so very fast recovery or drastically improved recovery. So again, eating carnivore or eating like this will not make you superhuman, but what you can endure physically and sometimes even mentally, okay, your limits of what you can endure, they will be pushed further and farther and farther away. So anyway, that's it for this episode. If you do like this content, please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel. Until next time, stay fit, stay healthy, and stay primal.